Queen Opp and Chelle are known for their extreme and volatile livestream dramas, such as pushing and punching each other.
That's my other sister. You're so hype. Yo, stop! Yo! Stop! Can you stop when you get me? Can you stop? Michelle, stop!
They rose to internet fame through outrageous live streams that often featured abusive pranks and heated confrontations.
That needed to be scared.
Their drama had no boundaries. They were willing to do anything, no matter how far they must go for attention.
How did you manage this and give it to this girl so this girl can eat the?
Over the years, they built a huge following across various social platforms, but also faced bans and legal troubles. This is the story of one of the most manipulated sidekicks and so-called friends in the history of the internet.
And stop blocking me with your big fat black. Nobody want to just look at you. You're ugly and stupid.
To be honest, not everyone knew who these two were until recently. So for anyone just hearing about them, here's a quick breakdown. Queen Opp is the online name of Sierra Taylor. What we do know is that she's from Philadelphia, and that's where she met Chelle. They became friends around 2008 while working together in Philly. To be honest, not everyone knew who these two were until recently. So for anyone just hearing about them, here's a quick breakdown. Queen Opp is the online name of Sierra Taylor. What we do know is that she's from Philadelphia, and that's where she met Chelle. They became friends around 2008 while working together in Philly. Sierra is a mom. She's also had other kids from past relationships. But over the years, she's lost or given up custody of some of them.
Gave him up. Damn, I can't still feel like a mom. I just gave the motherfucker up. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, that's why I did an open adoption.
Just imagine how a mother is addressing the kid she gave up for adoption. The truth is, no one really knows exactly how many kids Sierra has, but it's believed she's had about 5 so far. On the other hand, Chelle, short for Michelle Jones, is Sierra's longtime friend and streaming partner. According to Chelle's sister, she first met Sierra while babysitting her kids. What started as just a job slowly turned into a close friendship. Over the years, Chelle has been seen as the loyal sidekick in their content.
Can I give you $1 for her to kiss you? Go ahead, Michelle. He said, go ahead.
Some who followed them online think Chelle might have an intellectual disability or just be a bit more vulnerable, and that could be part of why the relationship between her and Sierra feels so one-sided. We'll talk more about that later in the video. What we do know for sure is that Chelle was stuck by Queen Opp's side for over 12 years, becoming a big part of the content they shared.
Can you stop when you get me? Can you stop? Michelle, stop!
Somewhere along the line, someone else came into the picture. In the early 2020s, Queen Opp started dating Danielle Danny Lee, who eventually became part of their live streams too. Danny started out as Sierra's girlfriend, but ended up getting involved in some of the drama that later caused big problems for the group. We'll dive into that in another part of this video. More recently, Sierra has also been linked to a transgender woman named Dukiana. The two have worked together on content and even shot a music video together. At one point, Queen Opp even called Dukiana her partner and talked about their relationship pretty openly on social media.
Now go home, Roger. Am I talk to you? Yeah. Am I talk to you? Yeah, you are.
Sierra, especially during heated arguments, would lash out and throw all kinds of nasty masculine insults at Dukiana.
Hating is contagious. Hating is contagious. He be cool with me. Take it the f*** on out. Hating ass, jealous ass. He jealous ass. His whole attitude changed, bro.
Sister, look at me. Look at me.
We'll dedicate a segment of this video to show you how weird both their professional and personal relationship was, because they dated briefly at the time. Between 2020 and 2023, Queen Opp's behavior toward Chelle on camera started getting worse and more obvious. At first, people tuned in for the jokes and the chaotic energy.
So she could go ahead and keep on playing. Why are we still in the bathroom?
There she go behind you.
You've been coming for 20 years. Like, come on.
You could see that Chelle had the guts to address Sierra here, just like any friend would. Maybe the power dynamic wasn't balanced back then either, with Sierra being controlling, but it was never really bad.
Babe, stop.
Their relationship is a complicated one. Sierra quickly figured out that the more outrageous things got, the more views and gifts came rolling in. So she started picking fights with Chelle during live streams, all for the audience's entertainment.
In my face while fingering the hair while I'm talking. Okay.
No, I'm not. I was just...
Don't touch my hand.
I was just running my fingers through the hair, like I've been doing.
By 2021 and 2022, Queen Opp's name was popping up across social media as someone who thrives on chaos. Even when some of her viewers came on her live to defend Chelle, they got lambasted by Sierra.
Like this. You gave birth to one of them ugly ass, monkey ass gorilla. You like a monkey. You look like a monkey. And you got a mustache, huh? No wonder you like this.
You could see the guest on live video just flapping her lips, but no sound was coming out. That's because Sierra had already muted her. She wanted the spotlight all to herself, a chance to say whatever she wanted about the guest without giving her a chance to respond.
I don't like you.
Hello?
You mad.
I don't know. Hold on, wait. I love these type of... I swear to God, it makes my wet. I might squirt for the first time in my life. I love like this, when they say these magical words.
Despite claiming that she liked the fact that she was being hated by this guest, we could see her facial reaction, and the lady said she didn't like her.
I grind you. Just get...
Kiss
Wait a
my
minute,
ass.
wait. What you
That's
say,
to
bitch?
you.
What was
You.
what was that?
Tell your
What
mama
that
put one
yes,
on.
but
She
put a
should have.
depends on that.
You could see the comment section going wild. Viewers were eating it up. This is the kind of chaos they live for and love to see. It's exactly why Sierra pulls in hundreds, sometimes even thousands of viewers on her live streams.
Stand up and don't eat no more of that salad since you got this old in my mitt. You brought this old in my buzzer. Why this old bitch in my buzzer? You brought this old bitch in my buzzer.
The older lady was really just trying to stand up for Chelle. She felt bad watching how Sierra was treating her and thought it wasn't right. So she asked to join the live video and Chelle let her in. But as soon as the woman started calling Sierra out, that's when Sierra came to sit and kicked off all the drama with her.
Up right. Eat that up. You better eat now. Eat now.
Granny, mind your old wrinkly ass business. Go put your ditches on the
My
and go.
It's
too late for you
to
to
kiss my ass.
When Sierra said, "Eat that bee up," it was her way of pressuring Chelle to check the older lady and make her back off, or at least put the two of them against each other. But even after Chelle said those things, the lady didn't turn on her. She kept going after Sierra. It was clear she knew Chelle was only speaking up because she had to. This is gaslighting. According to Cleveland Clinic Health, this is a manipulative practice that's designed to make the target doubt themselves, their judgment, and in some cases, reality itself. It's abusive because it creates an unequal power dynamic. It went further to say, just like gaslighting, verbally abusive people often use manipulative tactics, such as blaming, guilt-tripping, or scapegoating to establish dominance, play the victim, and control behavior.
I ain't got no beef with you. I got beef with that. Oh, that's why she got on. That's why she's on the phone, because she's some. Get on the phone, you. You.
Cause I know you really listen, Granny, listen.
This is the kind of content people love to watch and gossip about nonstop. The more outrageous it is, the more attention it gets. Bad behavior gets rewarded. So while Sierra and Chelle were busy making this kind of content, Danny entered the picture. Sierra started dating Danny sometime in the early 2020s. And even though Chelle had basically become Sierra's punching bag, she was still in some kind of intimate relationship with her too.
That's her.
Don't look like the same person you showed
Turn
me.
it around. Turn it around. Yes, that's my sister, bro. That's my other sister. You so hype.
Yo, stop! Yo!
Yo.
Yo, right?
You could tell Sierra cared more about keeping Danny from getting caught on camera than actually protecting Chelle from getting hit. And if that's what they were comfortable showing on camera, just imagine what was happening behind the scenes.
Did I hit her? I think I did a couple times. I'm not gonna lie. A couple times I did when I was pregnant.
Okay.
But the bulk of it was, you know, from stuff she was doing to Danny behind the scenes, yeah.
Here's another instance where Danny's being abusive toward Chelle on a live video. This time Sierra was sitting far from the camera to keep it from being captured by the fans.
I just put my drawers that I walk heavy.
I was speaking my truth.
What's your truth? Say your truth.
This stuff.
I just put my drawers that I wore the last 3, 4, 5 days in your neck, and you ain't do or say shit.
But why is Danny so toxic and abusive toward Chelle to this point? Well, she said it herself on the live video.
That's why I hate this. That's why I hate this. But every single time the mood is right, come on, babe. Come on.
Hate is a strong word, but it's the only one that fits when it comes to how Danny treated Chelle. The way she acted toward her was cold and hostile. Even Sierra, who's usually the loud one, was quieter during those moments. On the same live video, someone came on to share their mind.
No, don't drop me, please. I just got one thing to say.
Okay.
First of all, I'm going to just say this. You's a crazy. That's number one. Number two, you snagger puss Elmer Fudd looking Danny. I ain't been to here in a long time. Where the she?
You could see it on Chelle's face. She was glad someone was finally saying things as they really are. But if there's one thing we've come to know about Chelle, it's that when she realizes supporting someone like that guest could land her in trouble, she quickly switches sides.
It don't even matter where I'm from, Elmer Fudd. Elmer Fudd, why the you sitting there putting your hands on that?
You can't help but wonder what was running through Sierra's mind as the two women went back and forth. But as soon as the heat on Danny started getting too intense, Chelle knew what time it was. She removed the guest from the live video.
See, that's what I mean when I said my.
I'm coming to Philly. I want to come to Philly so bad. You could get your big, fat, funky ass gutted like a fish. You fat, mashed potatoes.
Alright, come on, y'all. Let's.
The assault on Chelle went on and on. Here's another video where Sierra was being annoyingly inappropriate with Chelle.
Okay, bet. Mommy, give me Robux or else. The water on me, bro. Stop playing me, you ass. I'm not fighting, bro. Why you throw water on me? Stop playing me. I'm not playing. Oh, don't water on me.
Chelle aside, did you catch that it was actually Sierra's child talking to her in the background? Sierra was almost half naked on camera, and both she and her kids were throwing around the F word like it was just everyday talk.
I'm gonna no water on me. What are you talking about? Don't water on me, for real. Here, eat them fries. Eat them fries. Eat them fries.
Why is she throwing fries and calling her kid like she's some kind of dog? Didn't she even bother to walk over and hand it to him or ask him nicely to come get it? And just as I was still trying to process how badly this child is being raised, someone else from the live stream jumped in.
Cause your ball gonorrhea having ass wanna think you could go off on people. Talking about you ain't drunk and falling all over the place, acting like you sped.
During this live video, Sierra can be seen clearly drunk and tipsy. Sierra was so drunk that she was spitting everywhere. The guest immediately expressed her disagreement and displeasure with Sierra as soon as she joined.
Hairline pushing Pete. What's going on? And Chelle, you a dumb. Why you not standing up for yourself? You should have whooped her ass on live. Look at her, thong out, ass out.
And without even saying a word, Sierra turned the camera toward Chelle. And Chelle did exactly what we've all seen her do before.
Because I'm not going to fight a drunk person. Idiot.
Girl, shut up. Look like the bearded lady off The Greatest Showman. Shut up. Please shut up. Dismiss. Clueless ass outfit. Dismiss. Big ass boy.
It didn't take long before things got physical. A drunk Sierra and a kid caught in the middle of it all. The kid even thought it was all fun, not realizing that his mother was too drunk to fully control her faculties. Her son may never grow up normally in such a toxic environment. What most irresponsible parents don't realize is that much of what they do in a child's presence can have effect in the long run. According to Ilaraza Law, as family law attorneys, we see firsthand the devastating impact that parental conflict can have on children. When you fight or argue in front of your children, it creates a stressful, destabilizing environment that can negatively affect their emotional well-being and development. However, it is possible to resolve conflicts positively and show your children how to work through disagreements in a healthy way.
Repeat it again. What you say?
I didn't get on.
Lower the tone. Lower.
I didn't say on.
Lower.
I didn't say on.
Whisper. Whisper. That's not a whisper. I should.
This is one of the many instances where Chelle is being verbally and mentally abused by Sierra. Even if she wasn't as physically abusive as Danny, her own form of abuse is just as bad. There are other times when the two of them are criticized for their conduct on the internet.
Why would you call me a smut?
Because you talk about smutting. You talk about selling, and you got a retard sitting next to you drinking out a bottle. Wake that up.
Another annoying and disgusting thing about Sierra's page is the fact that she often posts suggestive. Take this one, for example.
Not too much, baby.
This was posted on their Instagram story for everyone to see, and this one was uploaded to YouTube.
Private.
And here are two of them engaging in something I'd rather not say, but you can easily figure it out when you watch.
Anyone who logs into your case file, runs your name or Jason's, they notify me. They ran your name yesterday at noon. That's why they know about it.
But there's no way to tell this whole story without bringing up Dukiana. Sierra and Danny were already together before Dukiana came into the picture. Then, during her relationship with Danny, Sierra started dating Dukiana in early 2023. It didn't take long before things started falling apart between Sierra and Dukiana. One of the main issues was trust. She claimed that Dukiana used to be cool, laid back even, but suddenly switched up.
My mother and I came out here and you showed love.
Exactly.
You showed love. And I showed love. It didn't have nothing to do with super or videos or nothing.
How? You've been being fake ever since you got here.
Never have I been fake.
You was cool as and so every time you go to live with super clout T, Dukiana be cool as shit with me to get the out of this hating ass bro. Hating is contagious.
They were both screaming so much it was hard to even make out what they were saying. But from what you could see, Sierra was going off accusing Dukiana of being fake and using her for clout. Meanwhile, Dukiana was trying to defend herself, saying he wasn't just talking, he was also giving.
He can strike me down right now if I ever told you to come to Philly, bro. You said you been wanting to come, you want to come to content, and I agree with it, but don't ever say I invited you, bro.
But well, you made me feel welcome. You made me feel like I could trust you to come all the way to Philly. That's why.
The whole argument was just unnecessary and stupid. This is one of the last times they were seen together because Sierra saw him as a leech with no value.
Like I was saying, but said I let him come for clout. I cannot gain. What clout can I gain from him? What clout can I gain from him? No, I'm not, because he got a name. Hold on, wait.
Come on, don't do
hold on, wait.
like that, Queen.
I have not gained.
I mean, Sierra kinda has a point. Chelle was someone she could easily control, use as a prop, a punching bag, or content filler without much resistance. But Dukiana, being a biological male, didn't fit the same mold. Still, to his credit, even after they fell out and stopped being close, Dukiana didn't seem to hold any grudges. He didn't go on long rants or try to tear her down.
Sure, I ain't got nothing bad to say about the girl.
It seems possible that while Dukiana was with Sierra, she and Danny were either on a break or going through some major relationship issues. Danny wasn't in the picture as much, and then suddenly she was back. But it didn't take long after that for everything to go to hell for them.
So in life, when something isn't serving you anymore, ladies, what the do we do? We get the while there's family, friends, boyfriend, girlfriend. If any situation is not serving.
It all started with this live video where Chelle showed up looking completely beaten up. And for some wild reason, Sierra thought it'd be a good idea to shove Chelle right in front of the camera. Viewers instantly noticed it. The comment section lit up with people asking what happened to her face. But instead of addressing it with care, Queen Opp went off on one of her usual rants. She started talking about how Chelle isn't as useful anymore.
You anymore. And then it's like, I already used Michelle for all I need to use her for. I made her look like an idiot on social media. I made her get a big ass money bag yo tattoo that she can't get removed. It's gonna be big as shit. Like, I already made you like a fool. I made you eat dog. I made you eat dog. I made you.
How is this even okay? How is it allowed? It's wild that Sierra feels so comfortable treating someone she once called a friend like this. And even after being told she's useless and has nothing left to offer, Chelle still tried to speak up.
Like, what more can you do?
I chose to do those things.
I understand, but what purpose can you serve me?
No.
So that's what I'm saying.
You can see how Chelle tries to say things Sierra wants to hear. When Chelle gives a response that doesn't align with what Sierra wants, Sierra often repeats the question. But why was it so easy to manipulate and use Chelle like this? Could something be wrong with her? Chelle's speech patterns, behavior, and delayed responses during live streams, along with her apparent inability to defend herself or recognize abusive situations, even when they happen in public, shows she's mentally unstable. Someone in the comments section also picked up on this and said, she had tears in her eyes and her voice was cracking. God, I want to pray for this woman. I want you to cover her in protection because she is your child. Please show her the love she deserves, because no human deserves to be treated like this.
Plus, I don't want her negative energy around my daughter. Like, she's already voiced how she's not happy. She don't give about the baby. You know, she's just not happy about the pregnancy, the baby. She don't care about it. So it's like, I can't, like, I don't need that negative energy around me and my daughter. Okay?
So Chelle is the bad person here with negative energy? Give me a break. Did you notice the beards on Chelle's lower lip? There are speculations that she might be dealing with PCOS. According to the Cleveland Clinic, polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, is a common condition that affects your hormones. It causes irregular menstrual periods, excessive hair growth, acne, and infertility. Treatment for PCOS depends on whether or not you wish to become pregnant. People with PCOS may be at higher risk for certain health conditions, like diabetes and high blood pressure. Obesity and excessive weight gain are also common symptoms. While it hasn't been confirmed, it's definitely a possibility in Chelle's case. And while Sierra was busy asking for Cash App donations, Chelle said something.
I'm gonna rescue you. Girl,
I don't need no rescue. I go to where I want to. I leave when I want to. I wake up before everybody else in the house. There is no rescue. What are you talking about?
Chelle could have chosen to stay silent when commenters were saying she needed to be rescued. But that rant was her way of drawing attention to what was really going on, a subtle call for help. It didn't take long before people in the chat started chanting and calling for someone to step in, and that clearly pissed Sierra off.
Somebody call the police. Y'all been calling the police. Oh, and let me also wake this up, y'all.
What's most annoying is that while Sierra was asking for Cash App donations, some people were actually sending her money. How can someone think it's okay to donate when the person on camera clearly looks bruised and beaten? Some people truly lack humanity. That money could have been better spent somewhere else instead of encouraging this kind of bullying. One comment summed it up perfectly. Everyone defending and sending money to this mess of a mother should be ashamed.
$1 for show too old to be need to be saved. $1 for show too old to be need to be rescued. $1 for show too old to be having a little ass kids in the comments talking about save show. $1 for show need to get the off any way. You talk over me?
No, I was.
You could see the panic on Chelle's face the moment Sierra asked if she was talking to her. It was like her guard shot up instantly. That kind of reaction doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from living in a place where you don't feel safe, where you're just trying to survive. Chelle kept cutting in, trying to speak over Sierra, and reading out comments about how she didn't feel safe staying with her and Danny.
This is sad. If it's sad, then stop watching.
They said your face destroyed. Okay.
How?
Bro.
With the numerous interruptions from Chelle about the commenters referring to her face, Sierra decided it was time to finally address it and put the matter to rest, since that's what the viewers clearly wanted.
Alright, so for all you weird that wasn't worried when wasn't on live, that's wondering about my face now, Danny did it.
There's absolutely no excuse for someone's face to end up like that. No matter what Chelle might have done, even if she stole something or crossed a line, there's a proper way to handle things. You don't beat someone up and call it justice. That's straight up abuse. If they really had a problem, they should have gone to the police.
I mean, no, I couldn't.
Would I do it for no reason?
No. It was, for my flawed-ass actions, for the things that I've done. And, life got consequences, so, yeah.
I don't believe anything Chelle is saying here. She's only saying it because Sierra is breathing down her neck and Danny's just a few feet away. If she says the wrong thing, the situation could escalate quickly. And this is exactly the kind of reaction Chelle gets whenever she says something Sierra doesn't like. So yeah, according to Sierra, the beating could have been worse if she hadn't stepped in. Yet she expects gratitude from Chelle instead of holding the abuser accountable.
Jump in the middle of y'all, belly to her, to save you from getting beat the fuck up.
No, I wasn't tripping. I was saying, I was elaborating.
You was tripping. First of all, you wasn't even going to mention it. You just, Queen.
It's sad to see that someone could be living in such a situation. Just imagine there might be someone out there going through the same thing, but without an online platform or comment section to come to their rescue.
I was letting them know that you didn't do it, and I was letting them know that.
But why are you saying let them know you didn't do it like it's a lie or something? Like, bro, like, why are you acting weird? You about to piss me off for real. You're about to piss me off for real.
Also, if you look at Chelle while she's responding to questions or listening to what's being said to her, you'll notice occasional twitching in her eyes. That could be a sign of an underlying neurological condition she might be dealing with. After pushing Chelle to admit why she was beaten and seeing that she wasn't budging, Danny decided to say it herself.
You waited till we left.
Clock it.
Snuck in here.
Clock it.
Went through our stuff.
Clock it.
Stole the phone.
Clock it.
Downloaded a Text Now app.
Clock it.
Made a number.
Clock it.
Text whoever you wanted to text.
Clock it.
Deleted it.
Clock it.
Then they called the next day.
Clock it.
Like, come on, bro.
Stop
Don't
it.
make it seem like
Stop.
that. Say what
Stop
you
it.
did.
Stop
Say
it.
what you did.
The real question people should be asking is, why did Chelle have to sneak just to use a phone? If she had to hide just to make a call, it probably means she didn't even have her own phone. And why not? Maybe the people around her, Sierra and Danny, didn't want her to have one. Maybe they didn't want her reaching out, asking for help, or telling anyone what was really going on. The fact that she risked sneaking to use a phone shows she knew she was in danger and needed a way out. And why didn't Sierra and Danny want her to leave? Because Chelle is a key part of their online act. Without her, there is no one to control, no one to provoke, no one to humiliate for views. No Chelle means no drama. No drama means no content. And without content, the money stops. That's why they kept her close, because bullying her had become their business. One commenter captured it perfectly. So, we going to skip past the part that Chelle had to steal a phone and create a text app number, basically telling us they don't give her a way to speak to other people.
Like, I snuck in their room and invaded their personal space and their privacy. I have also been lying a lot, and I've been stealing again. When people steal, they get beat up.
No, Chelle. When people steal, they're either let go or handed over to the police so justice can be served. One of the main problems Chelle had with most viewers was that they didn't genuinely care about her, only when she was on live video.
Out of sight, out of mind is exactly what I am to you. And that's why I will never believe you. Because you hoes don't care about me. Y'all just want to act like y'all do because of the socials.
That moment from Chelle was one of the most honest things she's said so far. You could tell she was wondering why they only care about her when she's on camera. But really, how would anyone know what she's going through if they never saw how she was living? And just as the truth started sinking in, there was a knock at the door. It was the police.
Out of sight, out of mind is exactly what I am to you. And that's why I will never believe you. Because you hoes don't care about me. Y'all just want to act like y'all do because of the socials.
In her mind, Chelle was probably hoping the police would come and save her from that hell of a place, but she still had to keep up appearances for the bullies. It took more than 5 minutes before Sierra finally decided to open the door for the cop.
We need to check on Michelle.
How many times y'all gonna check on her though?
I don't know. One of your viewers called.
The same people that's on here now.
Yeah, probably. So we need to check. Where's Michelle?
She's chained up.
What?
That was just for fun and content. We all know Chelle wasn't actually chained up.
Where's Michelle? Michelle, what's going on?
Nothing. We're live streaming.
Well, I need to know what's going on here.
This wasn't the first time the cops had been called on them during a live stream, so they probably thought it was just another routine wellness check. Nothing new. They were likely expecting the police to come, look around, see everyone breathing, and leave, figuring the viewers were just being dramatic or overreacting again.
I understand that, but someone's concerned about the way that you look.
They're not. They're not.
That's why she was in a car
They're
accident.
not. I was in a car accident. They're not. They're not.
Look what y'all, this what y'all want.
This time, unlike other occasions, Chelle's face was visibly beaten up, and there was a clear need for an explanation.
I need to know what happened to Michelle's face.
I don't know what happened. I can't tell you that, sir.
Michelle, what happened to your face?
Car accident.
So everybody's okay here?
Yep.
All right.
Can you cut the fuck out?
All right, have a good one, Queen Opp.
Bye.
There you go, Sierra giving the cop a little show before they leave. The only problem is, they had already revealed the real reason Chelle's face was so beaten up. Danny got angry over something Chelle did. Maybe the cops didn't know that when Chelle claimed she got the bruises from a car accident. If only they hadn't talked about how her face got that way, maybe they could have gotten away with it this time.
I literally just let them in for y'all, to give y'all a show. They left. Nothing happened.
Nothing. They ain't trying to drag me out of here like y'all want them to.
The viewers were furious that the cops left without taking any action. Some suggested reporting the live video on the page, while others took a spiritual angle, saying karma would eventually catch up with Sierra for everything she's done.
Keep trying to play God. If I was so this and that, why didn't I have my karma yet? Why didn't I have my karma? Why is it taking people on social media to play God? Why are y'all playing God? If I'm such a up person, my karma should naturally happen.
Just as she was talking about karma and invoking its power and wrath upon her, something she didn't expect suddenly happened.
Y'all talking about some vibe. Bro, who is it? Who? Bro, y'all just left.
Y'all just left.
No, you just left.
You just left.
Most people, when they hear a knock from the police, at least get curious or want to attend to them so they can be on their way. You can feel the fear through the screen. Just like the first time, they were super hesitant to open the door, but this time was worse. It dragged on for over 10 minutes with back and forth excuses. The police eventually said if they didn't open up, they were coming in by force.
You gotta break down the door. I'm not opening up the door. You feel me? You gotta break it down, then do what you gotta do.
Someone in the comments posted exactly what I was saying about Chelle. I believe she hinted for people to call the cops. She brought it up. She even said if I was getting beat up for 2 weeks straight, she dropped so many hints. Eventually, the police had to force their way into the apartment.
Literally, screen record them kicking my door down. Screen record them kicking my door in. Screen record them kicking my door in.
Crazy, man. And
Even when the police got inside the house, there was visible panic on Sierra and Danny's faces, and they were reluctant to cooperate with the authorities. One viewer commented on how the first visit wasn't handled properly. I'm glad them second officers came. The first ones were playing around, and that's how people lose their life when police don't take the calls seriously. Thank you to the second group of officers that came. However, it's possible the first officers left to get backup or to seek guidance on how to handle a situation where the abused person is defending and lying for the abuser.
What's up, guys? Can you come
What's
on out
up?
here, please?
No. What?
Come on out here.
For what?
no.
We're gonna talk to you guys. Come here.
You can come out here.
No.
No, I'm telling you to come out here.
Bro, you can talk out here.
Don't.
And to be honest, Chelle was somewhat frustrating, trying to defend her abusers while the police were just trying to do their job.
I don't need no ambulance. I don't need no cops. I don't need none of that shit. Like, y'all can go ahead.
Come on.
Like, I'm sick and tired of y'all
This out here.
motherfuckers.
Because we're getting calls from all over the country. We have to make sure.
All over the country, bro. That's fake. Your calls are
This is what's known as Stockholm Syndrome. Another theory is that a captive or abused situation is highly emotionally charged. people adjust their feelings and start having compassion for their when they're shown some kindness over time. Also, by working with and not fighting against an abuser, victims may secure their safety. When not harmed by their abuser, a victim may feel grateful and even view their abuser as humane. Eventually, Sierra's ranting wasn't enough to save her. She was arrested and taken away. Chelle, despite initially resisting, was taken to the hospital.
Sierra, what? Don't touch me! 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 You are alive! You. I'm
Both women ended up facing legal charges, mostly tied to domestic battery and harassment. By mid-2024, Sierra had completed her probation for the battery case involving Chelle. She even shared some updates online, saying she was going to therapy and working on being more accountable. Danny's case didn't get as much public attention, but it's believed she also worked things out through a plea deal or by meeting whatever the court required.
Give everybody a little quick update. Also to thank y'all so much for all the love, all the support that I've been getting. I've been receiving a lot of love and support, and it's truly a blessing. It's truly a great feeling, and I want to thank you guys.
Finally, she was able to thank her fans for helping her escape the hellhole she had been living in, and the devils and demons she once called friends. Since then, Chelle has been trying to do better for herself.
Also, right now, I'm looking for remote jobs. I'm looking for work from home jobs because, the situation is still very fresh. So that's the type of work that I'm looking for now. If anyone may have any,
Videos released after Sierra's return showed her reestablishing an online presence, claiming to be fresh off probation. She also stated that she's been working on herself and taking accountability for her actions.
This whole year off, and with me being in therapy, I've been learning how to take accountability. You know what I'm saying? Take accountability. That was the A word that I just tried to avoid. You know what I'm saying? Accountability.
Whether Sierra truly meant what she was saying or was just trying to win people over again, we'll never really know. She might just be saying what she thinks the internet wants to hear so she can rebuild her online presence. But one thing's for sure, she'll never be the same. Her whole brand was built around Chelle and the way she mistreated her. Starting over means nothing if the fans don't get the same wild energy they came for. And without Chelle as the center of it all, that thrill is gone.
So I can admit I was a bad mom. I was a bad friend. I was a bad girlfriend. I was a bad sibling. I just was, any relationship that I had, I low-key up.
On her path to self-accountability and her attempt to rebuild her online brand, Sierra went live with someone who interviewed her about everything, including how she had treated Chelle over the past few years.
How real we being while I'm up on here? Because, I want to be real.
I give it up. Let's get into it. We being real.
He asked whether they'd been honest on the live video, and they claimed it was Danny who hit Chelle, leaving her face badly beaten. Sierra confirmed that it was indeed Danny who did the beating that day.
I'm not gonna lie. A couple times I did when I was pregnant.
Okay.
But the bulk of it was, from stuff she was doing to Danny behind the scenes.
What made people most upset was Sierra's attempt to make it seem like she'd been a true friend to Chelle, and that she hadn't realized the abuse had gone beyond just the physical. One commenter captured the frustration perfectly. Queen was never Chelle's friend at all. She's still so hostile about the situation, she's not holding herself accountable at all.
So when it comes to playing in that friendship role, why would you want to treat a friend like that is what I think the people is asking.
Treat a friend like what?
Come on, Queen.
There's Sierra pretending like she didn't know what he was talking about. So much for taking accountability for her past actions. To make things clear, he shared his own personal experience with the issues he had with Queen Opp.
I said, I'm going to pay for her some seafood. You take it back to her. You said, oh, she don't need that shit. She don't need to eat. She got food at the house. I said,
did have food at the house. And listen, I'm out working. Listen, whether we at the table or not, I'm still out networking.
The crazy thing is, I don't think Sierra even remembered saying something like that. She deals with a lot of people, but the way he described it sounded exactly like something she would have done. Her excuse for acting that way wasn't reasonable at all. Even if they had food at home, it wouldn't have hurt to give the seafood to Chelle as a simple gesture of appreciation. Basically, Sierra wanted all the gifts and money for herself, nothing for Chelle. She even said Chelle didn't deserve the seafood because she wasn't the one on live video that day and didn't come to join the stream.
She had her mind on her own.
Queen, you gotta be honest. You told the to shut up. You said, shut up. You talked to her like a dog. You talked to her like a modern slave on social media, and you expect this girl to have a mind of her own. And when she do, she getting punched in the eyes by a bulldagger teethless hoe.
This user said it perfectly. Queen is pure evil. She got off on humiliating Michelle at every chance. I wished Michelle stood up for herself, but I'm glad she got out of that situation. Most people wouldn't even treat a stray dog like that. Exactly. Sierra treated Chelle worse than most people treat their dogs. She had no regard for her whatsoever and went out of her way to humiliate her just to make people laugh on social media.
For example, if you was treating me some type of way, I would have never stayed, I would have left. That's the point that I'm trying to make to you as well when it comes to her. But when a girl feels as though that she doesn't have a mind of her own, she's not going to make that decision and dip off.
What he was trying to say was that Chelle had been beaten, abused, and conditioned to the point where she no longer had a mind of her own. She had been with Sierra for over a decade, and life outside of that environment was likely new and frightening. So even though she was going through so much, she endured it just to survive.
So is she slow or is she not slow? Because one minute you
listen, I would call her slow because Michelle ain't got no common sense. So you call, you like slow, you
that's the point that I'm proving though, Queen.
Huh?
That's the point that I'm trying to make. You know that she don't got no common sense. So how you gonna tell a bitch to have a mind of her own?
So the issue was that Sierra would mock Chelle for being slow and then turn around and get angry with her for acting that way, even though she knew that was just how Chelle was. On top of that, Sierra would question people for giving Chelle grace or understanding because of it. This commenter summed it up perfectly. She told everybody the girl's slow, then argues, why did everybody think she was slow? You can't make this up.
I think that if it was just between you and Shelly, it wouldn't have been no problem. But when you had that bull***ing ass sitting on the edge of the bed talking to Shelly any type of way, as that being your friend for 16 years, you shouldn't have let that even come in on your friendship.
This is exactly what I've been saying since the moment Danny showed up, and it's clear now. The long history between Sierra and Chelle probably felt like a threat to Danny, and instead of trying to understand it, she made it her mission to push Chelle out, and Sierra let it happen. She allowed Danny to wedge herself right in the middle and tear apart a bond that, for better or worse, had been there for years. Danny seemed to look for any reason to put her hands on Chelle. And for someone people claim is slow or not there at all, she should have been treated with more care, not violence. Difficult situations don't call for fists, they call for understanding. Danny did try to defend herself, saying a few things to justify her actions.
Yeah, I'm not going to make excuses about putting my hands on anybody because they gave you shouldn't. But when a start blatantly lying on you, blatantly, if you watch, you can tell I'm literally getting heated because why are you lying? And this is not you. You wasn't acting like this before the live hit. I'm not a partner duo.
Facts.
The reason Chelle lies sometimes is simple. She's scared. She knows that if she admits to anything they suspect, even something small, it could blow up and turn ugly fast. So the lies are not about being sneaky, they're a survival tactic. It's her way of trying to keep the peace and protect herself from whatever punishment might come next.
This part coming, Queen, how did you manage this and give it to this girl so this girl can eat the
But see, here you go with the victim. You said give it to her. I didn't give nothing to her. I shit it on a plate.
Oh my gosh, she actually gave Chelle her to eat. And to make it even more disgusting, she made sure to point it out that it was nicely served on a plate, like it was some kind of joke. Sierra is honestly the worst. Even if Chelle isn't in the right mental space to fully understand what's going on, how could Sierra feel so comfortable going through with something so cruel? It was wrong and beyond inhumane.
How did she get it?
The same way you would get steak and potatoes.
You a nasty bitch.
That's what I'm saying. Why am I nasty?
Why would you sit on a plate, Queen, and give it to this?
She truly is a nasty person. This happened behind the scenes. If Sierra hadn't mentioned it herself, no one would have even known it took place. And rightly so. There are people in the comment section who don't believe what Sierra is saying, probably thinking it's just another attempt to make Chelle look bad. One person put it plainly, I don't believe Queen. But what we do know for sure is that she abused Chelle on camera, one of the most disturbing examples being this. Queen rubbed dog on Chelle on a live and was smiling while doing it. Come on, Queen.
Me? No.
just on here mad.
And there are actual videos of Chelle being made to eat chicken nuggets mixed with dog.
Bon appetit.
We're not dead or done, so shut up, you idiot. Oh, be quiet. Who got no food?
And Sierra's excuse for allowing Chelle to go through all of that was that Chelle is smarter than her and had more education, implying that Chelle should have known better or could have stopped it.
I just on the plate and giving it to her. Why are y'all never? She was a few years older than me. A lot of people saying she was smarter than me. This finished high school, I didn't. She went to college, I didn't. She was way more, and I'm not even trying to downplay myself, but she was way more intelligent than me. Why y'all not holding somebody accountable?
The issue is that no matter how educated Chelle might have been, if she's mentally unwell, she's highly vulnerable to manipulation, especially into doing things she shouldn't. In several videos, we've seen Sierra tell Chelle she's no longer useful because she's already done almost everything that could be done in front of a camera. Someone in Chelle's position, desperate for approval or a sense of belonging, could easily agree to anything, just to feel needed or to stay close to someone she sees as her only support system.
I'm gonna agree with you with that one. Can't nobody make nobody eat no shit. Ain't nobody making nobody eat no shit.
What I'm saying is, how can I physically say you better eat this right the
and that's what I'm trying to picture.
Regardless of what was really going on, or why Chelle agreed to do those awful things, it's a good thing they're finally apart, and hopefully for good. If they had stayed together any longer, it felt inevitable that something truly tragic would have happened. By then, it might have been too late to save the person being hurt.